Today we're going to go over how to change the thread on the E16. When the machine arrives, thread is already in the system and all you have to do is tie on your thread cones. But at some point you're also going to be changing those thread cones out to add new colors to the palette. So I'm going to show you how easily that is done. The first step, that is for ease of operation, is to put the head of your machine in the center position. To do that, you'll go to the control panel and you will touch the needle icon and the arrow icon to move this into position. Approximately center. Now we're going to go up and we're going to go to the spool and we're going to cut the thread on the spool that we're wanting to replace. So I'll take my scissors, I'll unwind a fair amount of thread so that we have a thread tail to tie on with and trim. Now we'll remove this spool. I'm going to replace it with this larger spool of isocord, but just know that your smaller spools of isocord will also work as well. We'll slide that spool onto the spool pin. We'll pull the thread tail that we have left up through the top of the thread tube and out of the spool. You'll need to adjust the thread tube by pushing it down so there's about approximately 3/8 to 1/2 inch above your spool. Now I'm going to take the end of the previous thread color and the tail of the color that I'm replacing and I'm going to tie a square knot. And the reason that we're using a square knot for this process is because when the knot is completed, it's small enough that it will actually pass through the eye of your needle. And we'll get that tightened up. Next process, your spools and your pinch rollers all have numbers that correspond with one another. I'm using spool pin number 3, so I'll go ahead and I'm going to lift up pinch roller number 3 to release the tension on the thread. The other thing that I want to do is move the thread grabber into the out position. At the control panel on the E16, I will touch the adjustment key and the center key to move it out. I will merely go to needle number 3, which is also numbered, grab the thread behind the eye of the needle and gently pull it through the system and pull the knot right through the needle. Now I'm going to want to put the thread back into the grabber. So at the control panel again, I will touch the adjustment key and the center key, puts the thread back into position. I will use the scissors. I will trim the thread right below the thread grabber. And now I have a new thread on my machine and I'm ready to embroider again.
Bernina, made to create.